If you find yourself staring at your phone for hours when no one's watching, scrolling but not really looking, that's not boredom. That's emotional exhaustion disguised as distraction. And I'll show you exactly why your brain does this in the next 20 seconds. Because emotionally exhausted people don't just feel tired, they make worse decisions, avoid meaningful connections, and mistake numbing for rest. 1. Scrolling paralysis. You open your phone with no intention. No specific app, no real goal, just scroll. Picture this. It's 11 p.m. You're alone. You pick up your phone to check something, and suddenly it's 1 a.m. and you've watched 47 TikToks about strangers' lives. Your brain is so depleted it can't handle active thought, so it craves passive stimulation. The dopamine hits feel like connection, but they're just noise filling the void. The fix? Set a 10-minute timer before you unlock your phone when you're alone. But here's where it gets worse. 2. Silence intolerance. You can't sit in a quiet room anymore. There's always a podcast playing, background TV, music you're not even listening to, anything to drown out your own thoughts. Imagine you're cooking dinner alone and the silence feels so heavy, you immediately turn on a YouTube video you won't even watch. Psychologists call this stimulus dependency. Your exhausted mind associates silence with discomfort, so it runs from itself. The fix? Practice 5 minutes of complete silence daily, even if it feels unbearable at first. And it doesn't stop there. 3. Task switching. You start one thing, then another, then back to the first. Nothing gets finished. You sit down to read a book. 2 pages in, you're checking email, then folding laundry, then back to the book, but now you're thinking about work. Your emotional tank is empty, so your brain conserves energy by refusing to commit. Every task feels like too much. The fix? Use the one thing only rule for 15 minutes. No switching, no exceptions. But this next one is the silent killer. Fantasy spiraling. You spend hours imagining different versions of your life. Not planning, not goal setting, just escaping. You're lying in bed, eyes open, playing out entire scenarios where you're successful, loved, finally at peace, except none of it's real and you're not taking any steps to make it real. Studies show emotional exhaustion hijacks your brain's reward center. Fantasy gives you the feeling of progress without the effort. The fix? Write down one fantasy, then immediately list one concrete action you could take tomorrow. And here's where people get defensive. 5. Irritation at nothing. Small things enrage you when you're alone. The Wi-Fi lags for 3 seconds, fury. Someone texts you, annoyance. Your own reflection, disgust. You drop a spoon and the anger feels disproportionate, but you can't stop it. Your nervous system is maxed out. Your brain interprets minor inconveniences as threats because it has no emotional buffer left. The fix? Name the emotion out loud when it happens. I'm irrationally angry because I'm exhausted. But most people miss this one entirely. 6. Sleep procrastination. You're exhausted, but you won't go to bed. You know you need rest, but something keeps you scrolling, watching, doing anything except sleeping. It's 2 a.m. You've been yawning for an hour, but you keep watching just one more video, reading just one more article, because sleep feels like giving up the only time that's truly yours. Psychologists call this revenge bedtime procrastination, when your day feels so draining that you sabotage your own rest to reclaim a sense of control. The fix? Set a non-negotiable devices off time 30 minutes before your target bedtime. And this next pattern, it's costing you relationships. Message avoidance. You see the text, you read it, you don't respond. Not because you're busy, because the thought of engaging feels like lifting a car. Your friend sends a thoughtful message. You genuinely care about them, but days pass and you still haven't replied because forming words, being present, pretending you're okay, it's too much. Emotional exhaustion makes social interaction feel like performance, even with people you love. The fix? Send an honest one-liner. I care. I'm just drained. We'll respond properly soon. But here's the pattern that traps people for years. 8. Comfort loops.
You rewatch the same shows, reread the same books, replay the same songs. New things feel threatening. You've watched The Office 6 times through, not because it's that good, because your brain is too tired to process anything unfamiliar. Your exhausted mind craves predictability because novelty requires emotional resources you don't have. The fix? Pair one familiar comfort item with one new thing. Watch your show, then try one new song. And here's what really reveals the real problem. 9. Self-abandonment. You stop doing the things you used to love. Not because you don't enjoy them, because you don't feel like it. Used to paint, run, call friends, cook real meals. Now you can't remember the last time you did any of it. And when you think about starting again, you feel nothing. This isn't laziness. This is your brain in survival mode, cutting off everything non-essential. The fix? Do the thing for just 2 minutes. Not to finish, but to remind your brain it still exists. But the most dangerous sign, 10, emotional flatness. Nothing excites you. Nothing upsets you much either. You're just here. Good news comes and you think, cool, but don't really feel it. Bad news happens and you shrug. You're watching your own life from outside your body. Psychologists call this anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, and it's your brain's last-ditch effort to protect itself from overload. The fix? This one requires help. Talk to someone because flatness is a red flag your system is beyond self-repair. And here's what ties it all together. The truth. You're not weak for feeling this. You're not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do when it's been running on empty for too long. It shuts down non-essentials, seeks quick comfort, and protects you from feeling too much. But here's the hard truth. Emotional exhaustion doesn't heal through distraction. It heals through intention, through saying no, through rest that's actually restful, through admitting you can't do it all, and that's okay. If you recognized yourself in more than 3 of these, you're not a little tired, you're running on fumes. And pretending you're fine is just making it worse. Subscribe if you want more psychology that actually tells you the truth instead of what you want to hear. Because the algorithm won't save you, but understanding yourself might.